Thanks for choosing this free Anfield Index podcast. If you'd prefer to listen to this or any of our other shows without adverts, then now's the time to check out Anfield Index Pro. With AI Pro, you can supercharge your entire listening experience. You'll not only get all of our podcasts without the ads, but you'll have them far faster with our Quick Publish feature available exclusively for subscribers. AI Pro also puts you in the heart of our sound studio, with an option to listen to many of our shows live and interact with the podcasters in real time as the shows are recording. Upgrading couldn't be easier. AI Pro is available on all popular podcast platforms, and we have our own apps for Apple and Android. Just head on over to AnfieldIndexPro.com and get started today.
Hello and welcome to the Daily Red, your lunchtime catch-up on all things Liverpool FC on a Friday on which Liverpool will play Crystal Palace in Singapore in about 45 minutes. So the team is out and Liverpool's starting 11 is Adrian in goal, James Milner at right back, Kostas Tsimikas at left back, Ibou Konate and Joel Matip as the central defensive pairing, a midfield of Harvey Elliott, Jordan Henderson and Curtis Jones, Ox on the right wing, Diaz on the left wing and Bobby Firmino as the starting number 9. On the bench, we have Mrozek, Davies, Fabinho, Van Dijk, Thiago, Naby, Mo, Robbo, Darwin, Carvalho, Basetic, Reece Williams, Nat Phillips, Bobby Clark, Mabaya, Clarkson, Trent, Vandenberg, Norris, Morton, and Chambers. Now, I would assume that Jurgen will make changes starting on about the halfway mark. He has said he's going to try and give certain players 45 minutes today, but I think certain players will still only get 30. I would also assume that one of the young goalkeepers, Mrozek or Davies, will come on at half-time. I would guess that Sepp Vandenberg and James Norris will get a run out today, having not played against Manchester United, having been the only outfield players not to play. I think we'd learn far more from Sepp playing than we will from Reece Williams or Nat Phillips playing. So hopefully he gets at least 30 minutes in this game. It's a strong team, stronger team than the one that faced United, stronger team than the first 30 or the second 30. It's not ideal, but it is a decent team. The Crystal Palace 11 is also out. Gaeta in goal, Nat Klein at right back, Tyreek Mitchell at left back, Joel Ward and Joachim Andersen at centre back, Raksaki, Milivojevic and Phillips in midfield. I would assume that's Killian Phillips, the young Irish midfielder. If so, I'm looking forward to seeing him. Ayew, Mateta and Edouard up front. Now, it may be that Raksaki, who is a winger, plays on one wing and Ayew plays on the other with Mateta and Edouard as a front two. So it could be a 4-4-2. On the bench, Butland, Matthews, Rooney, Quick, O'Brien, Siddick, Adaramola, Boateng, Raymond, Oza, Banks, Eboué, Street, Akinwale, and Ola Adebami? I don't know him. If you don't know a lot of those names on the Crystal Palace bench, the reason for it is that there's like 14 members of their squad who aren't on this tour, 14 senior members who aren't on this tour for one reason or another, be it vaccine mandates and obviously a collection of their players not been vaccinated, which is a little bit of a concern, and injuries. There are certain senior players who are just injured at the moment. Should be a good game. You'd expect the Reds to be better than they were against United. Even in that United game, they had plenty of chances to score. So you would hope that they play well. You'd hope for the win. It doesn't really matter. It is pre-season, and at the end of the day, no one really cares about pre-season. The whole purpose of it is just to get the players fit and ready for the start of the new season. This is Anfield. Have 10 things to know ahead of Liverpool versus Crystal Palace, put together by Jack Sear, who will play for the Reds. Obviously, it's a fully fit squad with the exception of Diogo Jota, Alisson, and Calvin Ramsey, who's also got a knock. So everyone else is available. Less players, more minutes. So, yeah, Jurgen said some might get 45 minutes tomorrow. We'll have to see. But again, it's the period of the year where we have to be really careful with different things. These are our footballers. These are the only boys we have. We have a lot of them, but they are the only ones we have. So we have to take care and bring the best possible situation. 12,000 people watched Liverpool train in Singapore. 12,000 people. I think it was 15,000 in Thailand. It's absolutely incredible the support the Reds have globally when that many people turn up to watch a training session. Palace have 14 senior players missing, as I said. The Eagles were made to leave a host of players behind in London as they did not meet the entry requirements. Those include Wilfred Zaha, Christian Benteke, Eberechi Eze, Michael Elise, Mark Guehi, and it's a collection of players who are either not fit or simply not vaccinated. More game time for the new boys, so Fabio Carvalho and Darwin Núñez will be expected to play. My hope will be that they play together. I'd really like to see them get a run together and see if they can start to establish a partnership early on, because if we're not going to sign a midfielder, even though we're still very much in the hunt for one, the hope has got to be that Fabio can take that number 10 position, force Jurgen into changing to 4-2-3-1 with Fabinho and Thiago as a double pivot, Salah, Carvalho, and Diaz behind Darwin. Jurgen says that pre-season tours are not his favorite thing to do. Doesn't seem to like flying. Doesn't seem to like the humidity either. But it is understandable. He would rather go to Austria. And Pep Guardiola is the same. When Pep took over at Barcelona, one of the demands he had was that they didn't go on a pre-season tour. He took them to St Andrews in Scotland and put them through the paces for a fortnight. And he said it was far more beneficial. And obviously they went on and won the treble that year. So, yeah, I can see why Jurgen would rather bring them to Austria, train twice a day, and not have to go through all the rigmarole of a big tour. Andy Robertson had some nice things to say about Darwin Núñez. He said he's tall, which is, true. He's looking good in training, and the Brazilian boys and everyone that speaks his language have helped him a lot. I don't think me and him have had any conversations yet. We've just kind of smiled at each other, but that will come. Just put some good crosses in from Robbo and he'll fall in love with you. Remember the last time the Reds played Palace in Asia? No is the answer. 5 years ago, we beat them to win the Premier League Asia trophy. Salah, Solanke, the team that day, Jesus. Mignolet, a very young Trent who hadn't established himself as a first teamer at that point. John Flanagan came on at halftime. Matip and Gomez started. Lovren and Klavan came off the bench. Albi Moreno started left back. James Milner came off the bench at halftime. So the starting back four, Trent, Matip, Gomez, and Lovren, that's pretty decent. The second half back four, Flanagan, Lovren, Klavan, and Milner, is awful. The midfield that day was Henderson, Lallana, and Woodburn. Grujic and Wijnaldum came on. Solanke came on. Liverpool changed the shape. Salah, Firmino, and Sturridge started, and Kent, Coutinho, and Origi came on off the bench. The Singapore National Stadium is an exceptional venue. It is magnificent. So if the camera is good enough to show you during the game, make sure you do check that out. And there is a live blog on This Is Anfield if you want to follow that for the game. Ben Davies' absence from preseason explained as 4 clubs pursue a transfer. Sepp Vandenberg says he's not sure yet what's going to happen in the new season, whether he'll be at the club or on loan. A loan is probably the best bet, to be fair. It probably does him the most good. On Liverpool.com, Fabio Carvalho can give Jurgen Klopp exciting option as Liverpool stars' reaction speaks volumes. Liverpool negotiating for 68 million Brazilian as Jurgen Klopp faces Real Madrid transfer battle. Putting Real Madrid or Manchester City or Manchester United into titles is obviously something that works well with the reading public, because every opportunity this lot get, they do it. Liverpool have signed the ideal £11 million player, and now Manchester City must try and match the transfer. Liverpool know Manchester United making 2 transfer errors as Cristiano just to start. There's a Cristiano and a Manchester United mention. Must be good for the old Google searches. That's the piece of it, the 11 million signing is about Costas. Media Digest, let's have a look. Free transfer confirmed, Shea Ojo signing for Cardiff. Real Madrid transfer battle is over Jude Bellingham. Negotiations for 68 million Brazilian is about Anthony. We're not going to sign Anthony, nor should we sign Anthony, considering the prices are absolutely bananas. So no, we'll just move on from there. On AnfieldIndex.com, Stephen Smith has a new piece up entitled Joe Gomez and the Bigger Picture. Well worth a read, really good piece. New podcasts, the part 2 of the recruitment analysis with Gags, Mo, and Mr. Kennett, also known as Nat Phillips' dad. That is up. Also up is the latest Under Pressure, an interview with Gethin Rees. Again, it's Nat Phillips' dad with Phil Barter and Dan Rhodes. Do check that one out. And then we have the latest AI Scouted, myself and Young Matchett, currently globetrotting in America. Safe travels, Carl. He himself and myself went through the Premier League and picked an under-25 team each of players we expect to have a big impact this season. 1 per club, so you couldn't have, say, Phil Foden and Erling Haaland, but you couldn't have Trent and Darwin, Trent and Ibu, whatever way you wanted. You had to have only 1 per club. So we did those. Those were fun. I think my team would wipe the floor with his, but, you can listen and decide for yourself. And that's it. That is me for today, folks. Enjoy the game. It kicks off in, I think, about 35 minutes. So by the time you've heard this, it's probably either over or at least underway. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.
We hope you enjoyed listening to this Anfield Index show. Please be sure to subscribe to our channel so future podcasts find their way to your device automatically. There's nothing quite like fan engagement, and we'd love to know what you think of anything discussed on this show. The best way to get in touch is over on our free Discord community, where both podcasters and listeners debate the hottest LFC topics 24/7. Sign up free now at AnfieldIndex.com/Discord. You won't regret it. You can also follow us on Twitter at Anfield Index and find us on Facebook by searching for Anfield Index. Oh, and before you go, we'd love it if you could leave us a 5-star review on your favourite podcast app. It only takes a couple of seconds, and it means the world to the people who create these free shows.